When you get into a tight place and everything goes against you, never give up then, for that is just the place and time that the tide will turn. Harriet Beecher Stowe. My friends, push through. Push through the learning curves. Stick with this 10 to 15 minutes each and every day, and you will come out the other side a market master. When you can read these stock charts, you will make up for all the time and energy you ever spent. And all we ask is 10 to 15 minutes each and every day. I devote more than that, much more than that, to you guys for free. You can sure spend just a few minutes listening. I have to prepare. I have to, record all this, upload it, get it out. And that's in addition to all the other stuff we do for the Patreon members. And we, again, appreciate the Patreon members underwriting the channel here. Let's jump into these charts. Enough about my work. We see S&P 500, NASDAQ 100, 20-year bonds are down for the day. Gold and Bitcoin up. Boy, Bitcoin just keeps rocketing, as does gold. So let's jump first into the S&P 500, down 0.59% for the day. But my friends, we are still long because this market has been so good to us. This initial surge that we saw take place at the end of October, beginning of November. Wonderful return there. Then pulled back and pulled us out. And then we jumped back in after the new year and ran it up also. And it is just still going. When's it going to turn? It will. Can't tell you when. Again, when you print money backed by nothing, you spend money on wars on two fronts. And again, you just print. I mean, it's like blowing up a balloon. Inflation means, my friends, I don't care what the in-the-bag news media tells you what inflation is and what it's not. I've studied enough economics in both an undergraduate and a graduate degree to tell you that inflation is inflating the money supply. And when you do that, real things go up in value. Of course, the stock market goes up in value. Why? Because we're printing money backed by nothing, and these are real things. So when you have excess dollars, then of course the real stuff is going to go up. It's going to go up in value. The problem is people's salaries and such, particularly on fixed incomes, government proceeds, those kind of things, they're just getting hammered. But those in the stock market, they are doing great because it just keeps on keeping on. So enough said. We did see things pull back at the end of the day after popping up in the morning. Look at all that volume in the afternoon. Does that mean that things are over, that the market's rolling over? No, it doesn't mean that at all. First day of the latest two-day candle above that weekly trend line. And of course, price on the weekly above the weekly trend line. Things are looking nice. Now let's look at, and again, this is the biggest downer for the day. The NASDAQ 100 down almost 1.5%, 1.45%. Now, as we look at things, we can see a little wick right here. Let me move to the side. These dashes on this dashed line can be confusing. But look there to the right of the dashed line. Look at the latest, the weekly candle. You can see a little bit of down movement on there. We can see we have three spinning tops. This is the first day of the latest two-day candle on the two-day chart. And you can see that we've got lots of volume. We're almost up to the average on just the first day. And of course, you can see where things popped up in the morning with a spinning top showing lots of indecision, and then down in the afternoon. And again, the wick piercing the weekly trend line, but we've seen that happen just earlier this week, the 5th, and things bounced right off of it. So does that mean the NASDAQ 100's rolling over? No, it doesn't. Could, though. Look at all this volume, and it is an interim top, is it not? Let's see. The high 448.64, yes. So could that portend that we've topped? It could. What will tell us that? Well, if we get a strong red down candle this next week or a red spinning top, it could tell us with lots of volume that we need to go short. So we'll wait, we'll watch, we'll see. It'll happen at some point. Will it happen this next week? Can't tell you that yet, my friends. We're still long, both S&P 500 and NASDAQ 100 on, respectively, SPY and QQQ. Now let's go to bonds. They're down for the day a little bit, 0.17%. We can see below average volume here, below average volume on our 2-day chart, below average volume on the half day. We look at the half day, we can just see dojis sliding sideways. Which way is this going? I can't tell you. I don't have volume to back up the green. Could it be going up? It could. Do we have the telltale signs of a nice reversal as we saw back on the week beginning the 23rd of October and then the 30th of October when we had an interim down and above average volume and then a green spinning top and a switch over? Again, so many times portends a good turnaround in trend, whether up or down, but we don't have that now. So we don't know. So what do? You don't trade what you don't know. Hell, there's thousands of stocks and ETFs. Do you have to trade just one all the time? No. So you trade when you're seeing the kind of indicators you need to see with both volume and Heikin-Ashi candlesticks, trend lines being broken, all the things coming into view that work. And if they're not working, you don't trade it. Does that make sense? It ought to. It ought to make sense because we see it play out day after day after day. And when you see that kind of stuff happening, then you jump in. Then you watch things run. So we don't know what's going on with 20-year bonds as we move into the new week. Could it be going up? It could. Will that be established in the next week? Maybe. We'll see. What about gold? Well, look at gold. Again, didn't have the kind of chart we like to see when things turn around like we saw with gold back on the 2nd of October when it bottomed and the 9th of October when it moved up. But of course, we don't have that. We had an interim bottom, didn't quite hit the average volume, and then things started off slow, but they have been building. How much further up will gold go since it pierced this prior roof on price, ceiling, roof, whatever you want to call it? I can't tell you, but I can tell you this, it has rocketed up this last week and today up another 0.84%. You can see where things took off on the half day, really started to take off there on the 29th earnestly. That was 29th of February, Friday the 4th of March, and then just blasting through in the afternoon on the 4th of March. And then once it cleared that, do you see how these ceilings, once pierced, can just be a launching point for things moving up? And that's what we've seen since then. So where are you on gold? Well, you'd be long on gold. Now, let's move on to Bitcoin. Up on and again, we've got 24-hour-a-day Bitcoin we're using to see what our average volume is looking like because we don't have it yet on this new chart, just not coming up yet. Should be forming. So, oh, it is. Look down at the bottom. You can see where the average is just starting to form on the 2-day chart. You can see that little black line right there. We're just now into 20 prior candles, so we're starting to get average volume. It'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It will be 11 more weeks until we start getting average volume on the weekly. We've had it for a while on the half day. So we do see Bitcoin just skyrocketing up for the day. The Bitcoin ETF HODL is up 2.42%. 24-hour-a-day Bitcoin right now up 3.52%. And again, we can see where, starting at 8 a.m. on the 195-minute chart, really bounced around, shot up, pulled back, went down, pulled up. Then we got a doji next on that 11:15, and then the latest one starting at 14:30. At 2:30 this afternoon, it's a nice up candle. So again, Bitcoin still long, still stretching it out and heading up. Of course, the high for the week all the way up to $70,184. When did we hit that? Looks like we hit that, this morning. So again, just absolutely amazing. When it started this run, opening at 41,909, up to $70,000+. Just amazing. So needless to say, we're still long Bitcoin. So we're long the S&P 500. We're long the NASDAQ 100. We don't know what's going on with 20-year bonds. Yes, we see a green up candle. It may go up this next week. Volume's not backing us up on that. We, of course, are long on gold. It's just accelerating up. And we are long on Bitcoin. My friends, always love to hear from you. You got questions, problems, concerns, things you don't understand about what we talk about daily, would you just reach out, cw@chartingwealth.com. You'll give us good stuff to talk about on the show, and we're happy to try to answer those questions for you. And Patreon members, God bless you. Thank you for underwriting the cost of this channel that we do for free. If you appreciate what we do and get a lot of motivation and knowledge from what we teach, then put $30 toward us a month. Become a Patreon member. We will make it worth your while with our weekly vertical crossovers. We have 20, 10 up, 10 down this week off the S&P 500. Great things for you to practice trade each and every week. You also get our three-wave trades. Those are curated stocks, liquid stocks with liquid options and liquid ETFs with liquid options. We go through our list every week, cull those, bring them to you. We curate that list. And of course, you get early access to charting cryptos, commodities, and currencies, which I'm about to release to the public as soon as I get finished with this show. God bless my friends. Thank you for keeping me motivated. All the best. God bless from the whole team at Charting Wealth World Headquarters.